starting to come down now. Holy crap. Well, looks like winter's here. Snow's coming down pretty good.
Well, hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing good out there. So today, I think we are on part 9 of our Reloading 38 special. Maybe part 8, I don't know. It's gone on for quite a while now. So this project started back, I was quite surprised when I look back through the videos. It started way back in February. Of course, at that time, I was kind of resizing brass and different stuff. I was kind of going through the motions on that and getting that all done. And then, of course, summertime comes. And usually, I'll tell you, I don't do much reloading in summer. It's funny because we just had a cold snap hit. Finally, after all this very warm fall weather that we've had, which has been great. And I looked up in the barn and I had the calendar. It was still turned to June of this year. So that shows you how much time that I've spent in the barn ever since then. So I usually don't do much reloading, but I kind of kept this project going and everything. And you know, because it's relatively kind of straightforward once we had all of our brass and all that stuff to do here and there. So, you know, we've been working on it a fair bit. And so I kind of decided today, because what happened is I filmed another part to this video where we upped the powder charge. And I haven't published it. And the thing was, the results I got were, you know, they were okay. But after kind of going through that, I was kind of thinking, you know, maybe it's time to stop and kind of reassess everything and think about a couple things. And the thing that you'll find a lot of times when you do these types of projects, for me, I'm new to Reloading 38 Special, so I don't know a huge amount about it compared to things like 9mm 300 Blackout that I've been doing for a while. And so it's a deal where, you know, you go on this voyage of discovery. And thinking about things, one of the things that I thought about in terms of my inconsistent results in terms of feet per second, you know, we were just getting a kind of a great deal of variance there. And then sometimes accuracy was not maybe as good as I thought. And I started thinking about it a bit. And one thing is this is actually the only revolver that I have. And this was kind of my grail gun, so to speak. I always wanted a Mandarin MR73. And, you know, I'm so pleased that I was able to get one at a decent price. It's an old surplus gun, but, you know, still, you know, it is what it is. And just an awesome revolver. But, you know, I ran into this previously with a Smith & Wesson Governor, where you can shoot 410 shotgun shells in that. And then also, too, you can do 45 Colt, 45 ACP. And because the bullets have to kind of make a bit of a jump to the barrel, you know, it was kind of a thing where if you shoot 45 Colt or 45 ACP out of that gun, the accuracy is not all that great, you know. And so I was kind of thinking about it in regards to this in terms of we're shooting 38 Special out of a 357 Magnum. And so probably one issue that I'm experiencing where I'm not getting the most ideal results is we still have like a significant jump for that bullet to make to actually, you know, get itself into the barrel there. And so that potentially could be kind of causing some issues there. And, you know, as it's been often said, you know, if you have a 357, you can shoot 38 Special in it. And, you know, it's just kind of one of those things where, hey, if you want to do that, you can. And, but I think kind of in this case, probably in terms of if we're looking for really good accuracy out of this gun and to kind of maximize what this gun is capable of, we're probably not going to get the best results shooting 38 Special. and you know, in terms of the bullet making the jump, that's probably going to cause some issues because there's no rifling here really for the bullet to engage immediately and all that. So it's probably not the most ideal situation. Obviously, at times though, when we've done this project, we have gotten, you know, some acceptable results at times. The last video I shot, you know, if you were shooting an IDPA match, you'd actually not do too bad. You know, basically everything was in the zero, so, you know, all was good. But the other thing is as I was kind of, I don't know, as this cold snap hit and I was kind of laying out all the projects that I want to do for winter and just kind of looking through stuff, and, you know, my workbench is a big mess, and, you know, just kind of trying to kind of unwind from summer and get wintertime stuff kind of spooled up. I happened to look in the Spear manual, and, you know, I used the Hornady Manual because in this case, you know, we have the XTP bullets that we're using. And they have data in there for it and all that. And so one of the things, though, was I thought, well, since I have my Spear manual, and this is an older one, number 14. This is probably getting on, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, 10 years old. Not quite sure. They've come out with new ones ever since. I don't think I've gotten the new one. If I do, I don't know. It's somewhere. But I don't think I've gotten a new one. Maybe I should probably look and see. But anyways, this is one of the older ones, and so I was reading the 38 Specials section, and also I will tell you, I've not done a huge amount of research for 38 Special on the forums either. You know, usually like some other cartridges I have. This one I haven't. So, you know, maybe I should read up on it a bit more online. But anyways, one of the things that it said, lead bullets are best for loading standard pressure 38 Specials. They're easily propelled through the barrel by modest powder charges. Jacketed bullets create more resistance than lead bullets and may lodge in the bore if the propellant charges are too light or too slow burning. So this condition is aggravated in revolvers with large chamber throats or excessive barrel cylinder gaps. To avoid these problems, we are showing jacketed bullet data for only 110 grain and 125 grain bullets. Heavier bullets may not attain sufficient velocity to reliably overcome both friction and the gap. Notice that these loads are marked DNR, do not reduce. So, and they also specify up here, sorry, the camera there. These jacketed bullet loads must never be used in rifles. Okay. So, I found that interesting. So I hadn't really thought about that. Like I said, the Hornady Manual, they got data for the 158 grain XTP bullet, but maybe perhaps with kind of what we're doing here, maybe it's not the best bullet for the best situation. Now, the other thing along with this is, you know, it gives me a great excuse to go buy a 38 Special revolver, right? So that is something that perhaps we need to think about, is that, you know, if I do want to shoot 38 Special and kind of take it seriously in terms of maximizing the potential of it, it just gives me a good excuse to buy another gun, right? So maybe we'll do that. But in any case, I love my MR73. It's a phenomenal revolver, and you're going to see it featured coming up in the channel more, because we're going to do a 357 Magnum project. And then also too, I'd like to do a video or two on this revolver. And one of the things I've not really seen on it is, what if you actually own one, because these have never really had much in the way of factory support over here in the United States until recently. You know, what do you do to, what accessories are out there for it? What do you do to actually fix it? Living with it in terms of, there's a couple different things. There's a couple of different adjustments you can make down here for the trigger pull and all that. And so, you know, where do you get parts? There's actually only one place in the United States where you can get parts for these. And some parts are obsolete where they cannot be found. So anyway, so I think I'll do some videos on that. So where do we go from here on this specifically? Well, here's the thing is I went ahead and I already did a higher powder charge and filmed a video on that. So I think what I will do is I went ahead, I came back, I reduced the powder charge a little bit. I wanted to kind of see maybe what my results will be. So I've gone ahead and done that. So what I'll do with this video is I'll go ahead and film the results that we get here for this load right here. Then I'll look at the footage I have for the higher powder charge and see if I can go ahead and put that together and edit it as such that, you know, there's no wasted time or whatever in it. And then maybe we'll conclude it. And so I think probably what we'll do is we'll see what results we get. But I'm trending towards, at least for this load, it might be a thing where it's time to bring it to an end and perhaps look at getting another revolver. And then also too, one thing that we could potentially look at too is if I can find some jacketed bullets that are not 158 grain, but that are a bit lighter, and get them in bulk at a reasonable price, then, you know, we can look at doing a new project. But I'll tell you this, just straight up, we are going to continue doing 38 special, and I'll do some 357 Magnum stuff on the channel. So it's not going to go away. It's kind of like 300 blackout. I'm always working on 300 blackout. Personally, myself, I like shooting 38 special. And I know for a lot of the young folks out there, it's kind of considered a bit of an old-timey cartridge, but it's actually a lot of fun to shoot. And so if this project does end with this video, we shall continue in the future doing more projects. And the other thing I'll say too is that, you know, in terms of YouTube and viewership and all that, the 38 special stuff really does not get the views like some of the other things like 300 blackout, great example. So, you know, that is kind of a problem in terms of, you know, you kind of think about all this effort you put into it to film the videos, and there's really not that many people to watch them compared to some other stuff. But, you know, I kind of enjoy doing it, so I'll just continue doing some of these projects, and I'm not really going to give up on it, like I said, even though it doesn't really generate the views like some of the other stuff does. But, you know, all well. If there's a niche audience out there that's really into this and wants to know more about it, then, you know, cool. So anyways, so let's get to some shooting. Okay, welcome back, folks. So now we are outside getting ready to do our testing. We have our chronograph set up. As you can see in the background, it's snowing, so it's hilarious because just over a week ago it was 73 degrees, and now it's like this huge cold blast has come through. So snow's starting to come down. It's the second snowfall of the year. It snowed the other night and then dissipated, but now I think this one is going to be a bit heavier. So we are going to carry on with testing. However, I am not going to suffer in the cold because not only do I have my hot chocolate here, but I have the generator set up, and also I have a heater set up as well. So I should be pretty good. Okay, so we've got 5.3 grains of power pistol. Let's see how we do. Looks like we got an error. All right, hopefully everything goes good. 5.3 grains. Nothing. You can see that the snow is really starting to bucket down now. So probably can't delay too much in getting this done because the roads are going to start to get pretty bad. So we'll go ahead and try to knock this out, and we'll see what we get. I had a little bit of trouble with the chrono, so hopefully the chronograph will behave. Another error. Nothing. So what do we got here? Well, in terms of the groups, in terms of what we shot from 20 yards away, not really too bad. The second group I shot up here, that went a little bit high, actually blew the clip off there. So went a little high, but you know, decent little at 20 yards, decent little 2 to 3 inch group there. And then down here, the first group that I shot, this one I liked a lot better. On this IDPA target. So that one came out pretty good. 3 shots there, pretty tight together. A little bit kind of high, but you know, for IDPA type work, that works pretty good. So kind of like that group, and so that's promising. Just couldn't get any feet per second data on that. So that's 5.3 grains of power pistol. That's what we're shooting. So that's the way it kind of shaped out. So next up, what I'll do is I'll roll in the footage that I shot of a higher powder charge, and I shot that a week or 2 ago, and we'll go ahead and put that footage in, and then we'll kind of wrap it up here at the end, and we'll talk about it. So today what we did was we bumped up the powder charge. I actually bumped it up a fair bit. We went up about half a grain to about 5.5. So if you go off the Hornady Manual, that's still another half a grain to go if you want to do that. So we'll see what kind of results we get today, and we'll see how the accuracy is, and then we'll weigh it up at the end and kind of see where we're at. $737. $775. 821. 740. 819. Add in shoot a second string. 721. 715. 722. 824. 706. Okay, folks, so let's have a review of the data. Camera's kind of off a little bit because of the reflection. So let's have a look at it. So first shot we got was 737. The high was 824. The low was 706. So quite a variation there. And our average was 752. And quite a bit of a spread there. Standard deviation of 43. And let's look at our shots. So 712, 706, 824, 722, 715, 721, 743, 819, 740, 821, 775, 737. So anyways, yeah, quite a spread there. There were some that were kind of grouped kind of closer in that lower 700 range there. And then we had a fair number of outliers. So, you know, reloading 38 special, this is one area that's kind of new to me. I've been loading a lot of other stuff for a while. And maybe perhaps at some point, maybe playing around with the crimp. Maybe it's the powder. I don't know. Sounds like some stuff I'm going to have to kind of work on and think about and work through and kind of sort that out. Okay, folks, so here we are wrapping up the project. And what are we doing? Well, we're kind of back to where we started in a way. Back here at the reloading bench. And we have our last little bit of brass. So I ended up settling on a load. That 5.3 grains of power pistol, you know, seemed to work pretty okay. The accuracy I got out of it in that snowstorm, not bad at all. You'd easily win a pistol match with that if you're only looking at accuracy from 20 yards away. It'd do just fine. Did not get any chrono data though, because all the snow blowing in on everything and giving me errors. But you know, hey, just is what it is. And yeah, I don't have much brass, and it's kind of time to move on to other projects. And I think we learned what we needed to learn. And so, you know, as it says in the Spear Manual, and as we kind of discovered, these heavier jacketed bullets, they seem to give kind of more inconsistent results with 38 Special. And the other thing that we found was that 357 Magnum revolver, when those, you know, when you're shooting 38 Special out of it, can you shoot 38 Special out of it? Yes, you can. But the bullets have to make a jump. And so that probably through something that's unrifled. So that probably affects accuracy a little bit. In the end, I think our accuracy was still respectable. I mean, it was okay. You know, it'll get the job done. But, you know, it's definitely not as good as I've seen out of that revolver. That's for sure. Shooting 357 Magnum. So, you know, I think there's, so, you know, where can we go from here? Well, two directions we can go is we're going to continue with 38 Special, you know, at some point down the road. And so the heavier jacketed bullets is not the thing. So we got kind of two choices I can see. One of which is that we have lighter jacketed bullets. That's an option. I'll have to look and see what's available out there. I think I've seen Hornady. I think they have 125 grain XTP, as I recall. That might be good. And then the other thing that we've got is there's tons, obviously, of lead bullets, you know, coated lead bullets, all that are cast lead. You know, those have obviously been used in 38 Special for ages, back to the beginning of 38 Special time. So those are always a good option. So I think I'll have to look at one or two of those and kind of decide what'll be our next 38 Special project. So I think at the end of the day, you know, like with a lot of this stuff, sometimes people kind of look at things as like a failure. You know, if you do this or you do that, it doesn't work the way you think it might or whatever. They just see it as just like a failure. But to me, the way I kind of see a lot of stuff, if it doesn't exactly work out 100% like the way you wanted, if you can learn stuff from it. So I think actually going through the process and learning 38 Special, which I don't really know much about, learning about it and learning what works and what doesn't work, that's going to kind of better prepare me for what comes next when I move on to the next project. So never kind of be down in the dumps when things don't work out, 100%. It's kind of like last year. I did a 45 ACP project with small pistol primers. And, in my opinion, they just didn't work all that great. And so, you go through that. And then to me, I'm like, well, that's not, the way forward for me. So I'm not doing it, So a lot of this stuff is good at the end of the day. And, unless you actually get off your ass and go out there and do a lot of this stuff, you don't learn. And so I learned a lot. It was a good project. I had a lot of fun doing it. And just getting out there and doing some shooting and learning about all this. And so I'm looking forward to the next project that we do. So we'll see what that is in terms of 38 Special. Coming up, though, it's now turning colder. Need to do a bunch of reloading. And, well, we got a lot of projects definitely lined up. You can see the 9mm brass back there in the background. And yes, I need to get that one 9mm project back on track. So that's going to be something we're going to be doing. Then on this press right here, we need to convert it over because we have a mystery pistol series that we're going to be doing. So that'll be something a little bit different. I don't think many people have done many videos or reloading videos on that. Then on the Lee app press, we're going to be doing some 300 blackout resizing. So we'll get into that. I'm always short on 300 blackout because I shoot it so much. So we definitely have a lot of brass we need to resize from what we shot this year. And I need to order some more Starline brass as well. So we got a bunch of projects coming up. And also I've been learning a lot about filming videos and editing, and we have some new equipment. We have our new phone here filming. We have our new stand, which is a lot steadier. We're getting a new microphone soon. So I'm constantly working on improving the channel. And to kind of wrap this all up, I just want to say, hey, to those of y'all that followed this project, I appreciate y'all. And without the viewers, what is the point of kind of doing it, I guess. And, I appreciate the fact that y'all have watched these videos. And stay tuned because there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up. And, don't forget with that YouTube algorithm, like, share, subscribe. Really helps me out a lot because we need to get these videos boosted up there and really grow the channel. So, well, have a good Thanksgiving, you all. And we'll see you on the next project. Have fun out there and stay safe.